This is chapter 2 of 7 Days Behind the Veil. Day 2. Then the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Speak to the children of Israel, that they bring me an offering. From everyone who gives it willingly with his heart you shall take my offering. And this is the offering which you shall take from them: gold, silver, and bronze, blue, purple, and scarlet thread, fine linen, and goat's hair, ram skins dyed red, badger skins and assai wood, oil for the light, and spices for the anointing oil, and for the sweet incense, onyx stones, and stones to be set in the ephod and breastplate. And let them make me a sanctuary, that I may dwell among them. Exodus 25, 1-8. To dwell among men. The Israelites constructed the tabernacle so that the desire of God's heart would be fulfilled, that he would live among them. Just that one sentence reveals books and books and infinite marvels and worlds of wonderings about our Father. He desires to dwell among us. Can you feel the spiritual intensity of that statement? Could you ever wrap our mind around what that truly means? It is unimaginable. It is incomprehensible. Everything he is, everything he has touched, the worlds he has hung in place, the stars that glimmer in his eyes, all of this he has done. All of this he has spun from his fingertips. He is the uncookable artist. Nothing exists without him. Nothing breathes without his breath. Psalm 104:29. And above all of this, he desires to dwell here among us. Whether we feel it like it's true or not, we are the focal point of his heart. He desires to dwell with us, to make his resting place in our being. He does this by making us holy vessels that mirror the holiness found in his throne room. Why was Moses to build the tabernacle exactly as God had shown him on the mountain? Because when he described the tabernacle, we are describing the place where God lives, his throne room. Both places have similar furnishings, and both tell us about God. When we are practicing holiness, we are practicing godliness. And in so doing, we allow God to come and make his dwelling among and within us. There is nothing holy that does not radiate or flow from him. Reaching for holy. The reason all heaven keeps repeating, holy, 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 is not because that's just what they do up there, strumming along with their little golden harps. Holy is the witness to what God has just done. Every time God acts, the act is holy. And so the angels and every other heavenly creature bear witness to that holy act and cry out, holy. This cry has strata of thickness because he does billions of acts every day and every second. So there are billions of holy. Every second layers upon layers them. Yet, in the midst of his noise, echoed by thunders and lightnings and voices from the throne, every single voice and every single sound is distant from every other. None of them blend together. They're each totally distinct and separate. On earth, sound is incapable of doing that. But in heaven, sound is real and much more tangible. You can feel it on your skin and sliding through your spirit. It carries weight. It has substance. This is why we worship. This is why we endeavor to be like him. This is why we pursue him. This is why we exist. Because holiness desires to make his dwelling here. And wherever he dwells, there is union between heaven and earth. And life takes on meaning and importance. Here we find life and breathe that could never, in any sense of the word, be found elsewhere. Connecting with God. Very simply, worship is connecting with God. He gave us tangible realities in His world and Word of what worship looks like in heaven. He did this so that something He greatly desires could take place. We could be connected with Him. He could dwell among us. Two hearts could be one. By His breath we could breathe. By His body we could live. By His existence we could exist. So wrapped up in Him, so much in love that nothing could exist outside Him. Not because He is merely consumed with having our attention, but because that is how it is when you're truly existently in love with someone. He wants us to fall in love with Him because He is in love with us. It's that simple and it's that profound. Rest in His love. Just as it is in relationships between men and women, you cannot force yourself to feel something that just isn't there. It is hard for human beings in a fallen world to comprehend the Father's heart, the true blue, romantic, passionate, fatherly, brotherly, motherly love of God. Even though He aches to hold us, He completely respects us in all regards, including our walls. This next statement flies in the face of traditional Christian teaching, but we can have boundaries with God. He is not upset or angry if we cannot let Him any closer than our 10-foot thick wall. He is okay with waiting. He wants what is real from us. He doesn't want lip service. He is willing to wait for as long as it takes in order to capture our heart. If all we can give Him right now is frightened glance above the wall, then He'll take that glance and patiently wait for the rest. If all we can give Him is mere silver of our true self, He'll take that piece no matter its size, and patiently, loving, wait for the rest. Our walls don't send Him on a pity party. Our wrong choices don't scare Him away. Whatever we're going through right now, He knows. He understands it even more than we do. So we can't think that what we're dealing with will make Him angry at us. He already knows it. He is simply waiting for us to admit it. You see, it is not in the admitting that it loses its power over us. Don't be afraid of making mistakes. Don't worry about runaway emotions. Don't worry about the things that scare you in the deepest part of your soul, like rejection, like condemnation. Don't be afraid of God. There is nothing in Him to condemn us. He knows and He loves and He fights for us more than we could imagine. As we rest in Him, He Himself will lead us along the bridle path. After all, He is the only one who knows the way. Selah moments. The desire of God's heart is to dwell within us. Nothing breathes without His breath. Be prepared for God to speak to you anywhere and everywhere. As we rest in Him, He Himself will lead us down the bridle path. He waits for you.